Well, greetings. Thank you for joining us. This might be another short broadcast. Basically, some are coming on the stream. Well, to start out, that's neat. Background. Just saw, what was that, heat lining or something like that. Disclosure. Now, I don't think about disclosure all the time, but I am getting messages of it. Kind of jump around in subject matters. But also, now I don't connect to this very often. I don't think about it that often. I'm probably the last one to the party to connect with it. The government is basically keeping alien beings hidden from us for the most part, which makes a lot of sense. Which I haven't really thought about. Never really thought about that angle. Like I said, I don't think about this stuff 24 hours a day. But today I was thinking, is like all these reptilians, I think they were a bunch of badasses. And yet they manipulate us and we don't see them. Of course, there's not just them. Archons are like parasites, or the Archons at different levels. Not always parasitic, there's just so many different types of Archons. There's positive, there's dark, there's but I never really put much thought into, well, yeah, about the reptilians. You know, they act like they're so tough, but yeah, you know, first off, we don't see them, and yet they think we're weak. But it's like, we don't see you messing with us. How can we get stronger when we don't see what's going on here? It's like it's not fair. But also, and I got a message later on in the day about the government, which makes a lot of sense, is keeping them from us. Basically, obviously screwing with our the third eye and whatever else, and they're really going after our health and all, obviously, in different shapes and forms, but in other ways for us not to see them very clearly. Now, I don't believe this was, you know, it's now, I mean, they've been hitting us heavy probably since the 1950s, probably earlier than that. Not to say there's aliens popping around all over the place, but now we're coming into a time like with more disclosure. People are talking about it more, you know, as it's being talked about more, and, you know, Area 51 being discovered, you know, stuff like that. You know, it's when all this stuff starts to surface is where there's being, you know, they try to put the grid on us even harder so we can't see what's happening. So they're attacking us, obviously, right? But I never really connected to it that much. I never really thought about it that much of how they're truly hitting us. Well, so this is actually old news. But I never really looked at it that way, because I looked at it from a different angle. Well, first off, I don't really think about it that often. But the other I don't think about it at all, actually. But the other thing was, the angle I was looking at it from a while was just basically the Galactic Federations kind of just have these rules with us, and, you know, they got to not get involved. And that's part of it too, but I think another part of it is like that extra layer of screw you human, screw us, is basically the government's making sure that we get no zero contact at all as they make appearances and stuff, which makes a lot of sense. And this has obviously been going on for quite a long time. Obviously, they've been turning up the knob more why people are getting cancer and why people go coke and all that. I mean, there might have been a time when soda was actually good for you, or not as bad for you as it is now. And even like McDonald's and stuff, it's probably now so much chemical warfare towards us. It's not, yeah, obviously it's here to kill us, but it's also to shut us down what's happening, obviously. I just never really looked at it that way, but basically, well, I feel it's more than just food. It's like a harmonic energy that's hitting us of some kind that's really shorting us out. And that's what a lot of the galactic wars are, is to shut that down. At least that's the message I got today. So once again, that's not something, I mean, other people might say, oh, where have you been? Well, I don't think about it. So it's not I sit around and think about all this stuff, just the message I got now. So you think about now, one thing I have been getting, where it's tinfoil hat, I look like I'm insane, about disclosure. I mean, when people message me about this, here and there, I don't get much at all. But when some are telling me they're getting visions of this stuff, of visitations, it's like, and then I get an indication when that happens. It's like, yeah, it's like we're right around the corner. I know it sounds crazy, but also what I'm getting mixed messages, obviously. Of course, I might be the world's craziest person, but another thing is, it's like, they're not, I mean, from what I'm gathering, they're not going to give us a warning. They're just going to start appearing. It's like, screw it. Which is going to be kind of fascinating to see that. First I saw maybe they're getting indicated. I'm getting different versions of this. I don't even know. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But it feels like, you know, at least I'm kind of like, other people messages to others, sometimes the message to me. It's like I pick up a message for them and then it comes back to me, or for me to say something about it. Of course, you know, world class. We'll just have to wait and see. But what I'm getting is that they're just going to appear out of nowhere and screw it. And yeah, there's going to become of ordeal here, but it does feel like we're going to that energy once again. I can feel like a broken record, but it does feel like we're in a time where this can happen at any time now. I never felt like that before. Now I feel like it can happen any day. It feels like they're building up to it. I mean, like, I think about this not deeply, but I get indications of it when I think about it. So once again, we'll just have to wait and see. And also see that some of this might be also brought to the ships too, possibly. I know it sounds... If you're in the third dimension, you play video games, and you're just tuning in, I'm sorry. This isn't for you. But then again, maybe it is. But yeah, it's... I know, you'll know what's going on, basically. So I guess we'll just... I mean, basically, from what I got, you might be an interpreter, you know, they'll send you back to Earth. You know, I know it sounds crazy. Send back to Earth and just explain what the hell they're telling you. I mean, or download or whatever it might be. I guess we'll just have to find out. But it does seem like we're coming into an age of awareness. Not to say everything's going to be perfect or anything like that. Far from it. But I'm getting hammered in astral more than ever before. Past 2 days, I'm just not operating on a full cylinder. I'm getting hit harder. So if that's not a sign, it's like I've never got hit like this before. It's been ever since I talked about this stuff. It's been like a fall. You know, I'm just going down the drain. So I've handled it better, but now my energy levels are like half I've ever been. So in astral, I was I don't know if it was a car chase or something. I was getting shot at. I was in a white car. I was in the passenger seat. Nobody was in the driver's seat. But the shots hit in the driver's seat area, and I was outside looking at the bullet holes. I don't know what's going on with that. Jeez. So anyway, yeah, big surprise there, right? Wonder why I'm all worn out. So gives you, I mean, it just gives you an indication of what you know. I normally don't remember dreams, and ever since I did this whole disclosure stuff, I dreamed a lot that whole week, maybe the week after. Not heavily, but I get more than I usually get, which is usually nothing. And usually I bring it here, because I usually write it down, but now I just put it here. So if I need to find a dream, I just look up my old videos. Like I'm gonna find it, but anyway. But yeah, it seems like we're going into a time of awareness. Yeah, it's not going to be easy. Some people are going to freak out, and it's just the way it's going to be. But there's that possibility they're just going to just screw it and just show up, and just, is this going to be mass hysteria? There's going to be mass hysteria. There's a possibility of that. It's like we got to grow up eventually. They got to break in. Not to say us grow up, because we're getting hit by all kinds of stuff. And it's kind of hard to come out of that manipulation, as heavy as it is on us right now. I mean, it's like, you know, I say about humanity not growing up, but obviously the manipulations is like we're getting hit like everywhere. Everything is coming after us. It's not fair. So how can you grow when you're getting hit like this? How can you grow spiritually when you're getting nailed to the ground, basically? So it's so opening up. Anyway, it feels like they open up either way. It just, once again, I said like July, yeah, who knows, but who knows. Oh, it's right around the corner. But it just feels like it can happen any day. They're going to appear. People will freak out. We're just going to have to live with that. Eventually, that will calm itself down, and we'll be on welcome to your new world. Jeez. And expect to get downloads and understandings, and those that are aware of this, you'll just have a knowing. Others will freak out, but you're here to help them, and they're freaking out. You know, not to say they'll ever understand. They might not. Who knows? I guess we'll just find out. But yeah, it's like the reptilians and the beings here have us on a leash, basically. And the only way to come in is to break the leash, and that's for the beings to show up. It's like, you know what? Nothing else is working. We're doing this. We're doing that. We're doing everything we can. And it's like nothing's working. It's like it might take 2,000 years for it to work, but it's like, can you see the future us continuing in this direction? I mean, all the technology, the way the Earth is getting, you know, all the trash on the planet. I mean, just trash in general, just garbage in our seas and all that, just that stuff. It's like, how can this world survive this? How can it survive it now? So, I mean, just on that, the pollution here. I mean, obviously they're helping us, but how long can this go? So, anyway, it feels like they can cut through a timeline and come here, and obviously they're setting everything up. They're not going to give me full indications. They're going to say, oh, yeah, be on this date, get ready. Yeah, but once again, it feels, I know, it feels so weird talking about all this, but it does, once again, it feels like the era is ready, but in mass hysteria, there's a high possibility. I guess it's a message, it's just a possibility. I'm getting all these possibilities. At first I saw everything's going to be calm, everything's going to be okay. And then I get a message like, maybe things aren't always going to be okay, but, you know, I didn't even mention that earlier, but then I got another message about it, so I guess we'll just have to find out. It gives the news something to talk about and spin. So that'd be, and I have to admit, when I started connecting to all this, I looked at the news on the phone and I felt like alien headlines. Like, it's like, so we're in that era of their appearance. Just when, how, even if I channel somebody, I'm probably not going to get anything more. Probably not. You know, I think they're going to just tell you this basically to, you know, it feels like I got to do a video like this again. It's kind of like a video update of absolute insanity. But it does feel, yeah. I mean, yeah, because what I was getting earlier, I mentioned like we'll get signs of it, but now I'm getting like, obviously I'm giving you different versions of it because I don't know, but it's better to put it out than to not. Like, they're disappearing, and then here we go. Welcome to the new world. And what I did get from that is you'll get downloads, you might be brought to the ship, you might just all of a sudden find yourself on a ship, basically, just like that. And those are, it's for those that are aware of this. But then again, there might be those that aren't aware of any of this. And they just understand it. They might be freaking out. I don't think you're going to get somebody that's going to be completely freaking out. That's probably not a good idea. Those that are getting education of this have some idea. Basically, there's going to be tall, blonde, yeah, beings, most likely, that look like us. I mean, I believe almost like identical. Yeah, might be taller, who knows. But they look like us. Maybe various small details of difference, but not that much. but enough, because coming in as like a reptilian, that's not going to do us much good. No, probably not. So they're going to look like us, and there might be some worship going on, but that's humanity. We're just doing what we do best. Jeez, what the fuck. Yeah, and then we'll go into the timeline of other beings appearing, and welcome to the new world. So it really feels like we're truly in that time of here it comes. So once again, I'm repeating myself again, but yeah, 2 months ago I got a message, and just as out of nowhere, from the Pleiadians, and I was in Orlando at that time, and it was pretty clear. It was in the morning or night, I forget what time of the day it was, but either way, it was pretty clear. And I was like, what are you talking about? It's like, you crazy, what? It was from the light, and yeah, so I'm gonna just have to wait and see. I mean, this is all they call preparing. Once again, not to panic, and we're going into July. Who knows what's going to happen in July? Maybe nothing, maybe something. 4th of July, maybe a bunch of beings will show up in the sky during that time. Yeah, most likely the skies are going to be a different energy, so we just have to wait and see. Some people are going into panic. Now, I wouldn't go into any kind of panic at all. The more sane you have, the better. Yeah, you can go and move all you want. That's not going to do any good either. So just, I mean, we gotta worry about the human next door. Jeez. But I wouldn't worry about it for the most part. I mean, what are you gonna worry about? It's hard to worry when it hasn't really, worry about nothing. Basically, you just have to live it out. So you can say I'm kind of doing like weather predictions. This is like alien predictions, kind of like that, which I never thought I'd be doing a year ago or 2 months ago. So I'm doing alien predict. I know it sucks. I'm like the worst weather man ever, but either way, it feels like we're in that path. And when they appear, it's going to be great for many of us, and aggravating, and everything. I mean, it just feels like the path, the doorway is opened. I mean, does anybody visualize Trump talking to an alien being? Because that's going to happen eventually. Do you visualize him talking about it, bringing it up? Because dreams are talking to us to give us warm. Now, obviously, they're not going to give us everything, but for some cases, they will. So, and some that have already experienced this in the past on other worlds, yeah, well, you're here for a reason. So, and that's the other thing what I got. Some people said, I never thought this was going to happen, and here they are. So there's that too. So I'll just be, once they do make their appearance, I'll feel a lot better. Because right now it's like, I feel like I'm in the cooker. It's just like talking about this is like, people have been talking about this forever, and it hasn't happened. I'm not talking about doomsday. It's like, that's like what, every month now? It's nothing like that. It's just basically we're going into our next cycle. Because I mean, at this moment, do you see any? I mean, have you seen any really shift of any kind that we're like, hey, we're going to fourth dimension like that? No, not really. You heard about the event, but not much is happening there. I mean, some things, but same old. Not much is occurring. So, not really. Not really. I mean, no. Everything's kind of so with this would be there'll be a change in direction. Postcards would be changed differently. It just feels like everything's kind of dull and boring for a reason. Not to say it's all dull and boring, but it feels like it's more quiet than it could be. It's quiet for a reason. And actually, the Galactic Wars is to keep it. You want it boring or you want it insane? I think I'll take boring. So, obviously, we have volcanoes going off here and there that are kind of covered up. We have a war in Yemen. I'm not sure what's going on. I haven't kept up with the news, but either way, oh yeah, Star Wars are going to fire that lady that's screwing up Star Wars. See? Maybe. No, I think they are, but they can't get anybody to take over that. So, that doesn't mean anything, but, yeah. I'm not giving out a full date of this, but it does look like we're in the era of disclosure. And it's going to come out of nowhere. And it's going to be the beings themselves, not the government. The government will eventually, you know, they can't look the other way anymore. So, there is a war in Astral, of course. There's a lot of, I don't know, I'm getting beat down, but that's okay. I'm surviving. Yeah, I've never felt like this before. So I'm alright, I'm taking it easy. I went to see Jurassic Park, and that was what's interesting about that Jurassic Park. They had the lion and they had the dinosaur, you know, yelling at the lion, which is kind of neat. So it feels like there's a lot more to it than that. And there's another thing too. I think it was a Neptune being spoke to me slightly. Got a little bit, not much. That they are here, obviously. They're all the beings from these different planets, even Pluto are here. I don't know how that works exactly, but I got something to. They don't give me a whole lot. They don't give me everything. It's kind of just. It's quiet for a reason, but. I didn't get I got an image of what a Neptune being kind of looks like, at least a version of it, but what I found is kind of not the best, but it's okay, it's not that great, but anyway. Something like this. Actually, what I got was this, but a lot more sophisticated. I saw a guy wearing glasses with retro hair, but I saw a lot more, you know, it looked better, but that kind of gives you. But I'm actually seeing it more like this. But I did see glasses also, but they're not giving me a whole lot of indication what the hell they're doing. But there are all the planets around us are assisting us in some shape or form. They don't want the attention, but eventually they will. Yeah, they're guiding us into the new world. Okay. They're kind of like part of the secret space programs, which makes sense. They don't want to give themselves too much attention because it's not that important right now. Right now, it's for us to find our own direction, but you might start seeing them possibly because they'll just tell you you'll feel who they are. Yeah, Jupiter's Neptune, but basically, when humanity went into darkness, yeah, we kind of just took everything and threw it all out. So like we really went into the darkness, obviously, and not many species would go that far. At least in this, well, I don't think well, probably others, but I mean, I saw a whole universe of worlds like this. It's like worse. Can you imagine that? I don't even want to think about that. I think it's a little bit more exciting life-wise. Imagine that. Jeez. That's like going to the dentist every day. And they're just drilling you. Jeez. Anyway, when Atlantis went down and Lemuria went down, the planets around us, the beings, they were already here, but they assisted us more. And yeah, it's a war for our minds, basically. Like us eating meat, I believe there's a galactic war towards that. Like with the chicken people. It's like, I'm not sure how that works. I imagine a lot of those like chicken energies do come from Neptune is what I'm feeling. Not to say all chickens are from there, but that energy does seem to be very Neptune connected. So, yeah, just to give you a kind of another way of looking at things. And, you know, and also, this isn't from me, but, you know, a friend of mine mentioned about Martians, which is interesting about Martians got rid of all the women, which is, like, would make sense. I never really thought about it. I never really got a message on that. I don't look at it that deeply, but, jeez. So, yeah. Jeez. But they are here, for sure. Yeah, all the, like I said, all the planet beings are here. Pluto's here. I know that's weird. Well, just because they don't show it to us doesn't mean they're not here. The Venus beings are here, but it's not just Venus that gives us assistance. It's all of these worlds. They just have their own way of doing it. They just a lot more quiet. With Saturn is very much involved with the Illuminati and all that, the symbolisms. But there is a positive side there. You can say some of them got hijacked in some ways. So, it's alright. Yeah, it does seem like that. Saturn beings kind of... Well, you know, when we went to the third dimension, we were just like... Not anybody can do whatever they want to us. And that can really screw with somebody's mind. To talk about power hungry. And you have the Greek gods, you have the Egyptian gods, and you have also well, I say the Greek gods abused us more than anything. I'm not sure about the Egyptians, but the Greeks really took abuse. Enjoyed every minute of it too. So, and that's also part of our DNA, you know, changing our DNA. So, yeah, when we became more human, you know, in this form, because Atlanteans weren't like this. Atlanteans had a different skin, different everything. I mean, they looked like humans, but they were just different. And it feels like it was... I was going to do the text channelings. I've been doing other stuff. Resting is a big part. I will go back into that. I just haven't recently, but we're working on it. Yeah, Atlanteans, as we went into darkness, we became more human. We incarnated as human, got worse. We still had power. We still had a lot of power. But now it's like, now we're in this body that the beings around us can control. You know, the reptilians can shut us down, the Anunnaki can shut us down, and so we became more, more self-destructive to ourselves, worshipping this body. Well, it's because it's manipulated. It's there just like a computer. They just put a virus in it, and we go, you know, we just downgrade to where we are today. So, yeah. Yeah, but once I believe that once we remove all these manipulations, we can be reactivated. I believe we can work with the bodies we have and go up to the higher, whatever it is. Well, probably going to a new body, but either way, this one's pretty powerful as it is. So I think you can still do quite a bit with it. So it's not all. Yeah, you can say it's Atlantean made. Yeah. But then it was for our, you know, turned to a prison in some ways. Not entirely. Because there was other beings involved, but I believe it was mostly Atlantean created. Yeah. Yeah, because you have your Atlanteans that everything's fine, and you have your other Atlanteans that kind of disconnected. And that's where the human body was kind of invented. Something around, at least what I got. And eventually evolved to the Atlanteans on Atlantis, and here we are. So, something around those lines. So, but either way, I'm getting indications of, you know, you can say for disclosure, it's just the energies are different here. It just is, and obviously they're not going to be like flashing, and I guess they're not. But we'll find out. It just feels like, you know, we're in this dull period of not much excitement is happening. But you can say that the more boring it gets, the more, because when we go into this shift, when they're here, some might look at this time as like, I'd rather go back to that. At least a lot in the third dimension are going to be doing that. So at least the third dimensional thinking pattern. So yeah, we're definitely going. We just have to see. We have to wait and find out. Yeah, July is coming here. It's definitely a time of its turning point time period. Definitely, it's a time for us to know more about what's happening here. Let's put it that way. So that gives you an indication. It's like, Yeah, because it feels like eventually down the road, channeling is going to change. It's going to be more of the beings talking to us themselves. You might still get channeled messages, but it's just going to be a whole new ball game when they get here. So we're building up to it. I don't know, man. It just feels like we're. I don't know. I'm going through a lot of stuff. That's all I know. Yeah, it's not something I connect to every day or every moment. Far from it. I don't think about it during the day, really. But when I get here, I can, connect. And I'm already going through. It's like I'm trying to get through the day, let alone connecting. I'm trying to survive the day. You can look at it that way. That's not easy. It's getting harder recently. Yeah, I think whatever beings I'm causing difficulties with, it's probably best nobody can connect to it right now. It's like, I'm not sure if I want to know. But obviously I'm not alone in this, I doubt it, but many are bringing transition shifts to our reality to, I feel like, yeah, our timelines are shifting into more of awareness. It's just, be prepared. Obviously, no panic. Don't panic and just enjoy the show. Yeah, because again, I'm getting different versions of all this, but let's put it this way. The recent update is they're going to appear. There's going to be hysteria, but not forever. And many of us are going to be activated, and away we go. So it's not going to be easy. It'll just be a different type of world. So yeah, because it's like the shift to the third dimension really feels like it is coming to an end. Now, those that are in the ufologist stuff, talking about aliens for the last 20 years, I'm not sure how many of them are really ready for actual physical connection, because they're going by a logical, you're using all this logic and all this research. How much are you connected to yourself? You don't have to be perfect, but do you have peace with yourself? Let's put it that way. What do you feel is coming? Because they usually give you indications of some kind of. If you feel something's coming, then there you go. Those are doing research and they have all the science degrees and they need to know everything, and they're probably the last ones to really have it. They probably won't believe what they see, and that's going to be another thing. So yeah, they're going to be afraid, they're going to be all that, so just have to wait and see. That's all I got for right now. I feel like this is the message that needs to be heard right now too. I can bring in a channeling being all I want, but with we're going at a time of absolute insanity. It's like, enjoy the boring. How many people are bored enjoying this? But I don't think many people are really enjoying it. So we're definitely going to go into another. I wonder what your mission is. I'm here to tell people that, yeah, they're coming, and I've just seen as a crazy person right now. It's weird saying this stuff. It's like, what the fuck am I doing? It feels like it's the right thing. So, alright, those are new to ivanteller.com. We have private sessions. We have the whatever this is, the calendar. We also have learned how to channel. Also, they have I'll come up with a better method. But the link is down below this video. It's another video, but has all the links and information goes further into it. Google Hangout, Zoom, and channeling by phone. And the shop here, I'm about 7 days behind. Once again, 7 days behind for this. Also, there's other channelers and healers here. Also, if you want to support the channel, there's also Patreon. I haven't done the video yet. I will. Might just have to skip a week, give myself a break. No, I might just do 2 in a day. And also the social network. Thank you for being part of this. And also Jake, the rabbit. Yeah, he's going to go into human trafficking. We're working on it's on its way. So that'd be another way while I'm getting attacked. That's okay. He's going to go in further. He's just warming up. So, alright, yeah, this feels like the only message that's needed right now. Let's see if any angels or positive beings have. Don't fear your own abilities, don't fear your own self. The soul, your soul has a lot to offer. Everyone's soul has a lot to offer. As many in humanity are ranking each other, who's smarter, who's this, who's that. That needs to be removed. You're all equal, you're all different, you're all equal, all loved. Love is, there's no way of categorizing love. Of course you can, but no reason for it. The idea is to experience each other's energies. That's why you're here. Your points of view, your vibrations, and you come into this world of many hardships basically to get to know each other in a different way. Get to know each other in a way where there's a lot of tension in the society, denseness in the air. As you forgot your higher selves, but you're still here, you're just experiencing a world that is, yes, more dense. But this is another way of creating friendships. No right or wrong way to create friendships or relationships. It's what you want to experience here. Some, this world is not working for at all. It's like, I can't do this. But some are adapting to it and following the path they feel right. But you are following the path also. If you're kind of rejecting this reality, you're bringing in another reality also. So basically you're connecting to the magic of you. And this, yes, you will see things more clearly. Basically many of you are analyzing this dimension and also seeing what you are ready to let go of. It's like, it's kind of like you have all these balloons and you're letting them go. You're letting go of this reality, like the third dimensional balloon. You're like carrying around all these points of view. And you're letting the third dimensional way of looking at things go. You're letting it just, you don't need it anymore. So, it's one way of looking at it. But many, yeah, thoughts, third dimensional fears, you don't need them anymore. So now you're releasing. More and more people are releasing. They don't even understand. Basically, ideas, humanity connecting to the earth. Realizing you are one with Mother Earth. Yes, she is your own individual energy, but realize your energies do go through her vibration on a daily basis. And you go through each other's energies also. Everyone's flowing through each other. If you like it or not, it's happening. So, and also think about it, yes, as you are flowing through each other's vibrations, you pull yourself to somebody and bring them into your energy field, or you go shop here and meet that person, or you meet a lover, or whatever it might be. Because remember, yes, your physicality is just one aspect of it. Remember, you are energy. You are constantly moving. You're constantly flowing. And a lot of ways, you are many days, many weeks ahead of yourself. This is why you get this feeling that you know where you're going. Sometimes, not always, is brought to you. Sometimes it is. Because you're in all places at once right now. But bringing people to, like lovers, not everyone's ready for that. Because what you're exploring right now is what's needed. And a lover is not always needed for that. It's like you find a lover when you want, it's like you have time for it. Or of course some people bring it in, they don't have time for it. But they're experience it when they don't have time for it. But there's a time and place for everything. But a lot of souls come here to not have, at least they come here awakened, but not really here for the relationship. We're here in a relationship with God, yourself, the universe, into a relationship with Mother Earth to awaken it. So it's a different way of looking at things. As basically humanity, yes, is going to get a vision of itself it never thought it'd ever get. A way of life it never saw coming. Many of you are getting that right now. You believe it or not, that's up to you. You believe, you believe what's coming is up to you. Many of you realize that the Earth is going into a new cycle. This new cycle is leaving the old third dimension. It's like you're on a boat leaving the old world to the new world. And this new world is going to be unlike, remember, even the pilgrims that they came here, they met Indians and things they never, that's kind of like what's happening here. We're leaving the old way of looking at things. So those that are aware of all this will get more downloads, and not everybody's going to agree with everything. That's okay. That's expected. But follow what's right for you. Because that's the thing. Just because these aliens are at a high dimension does not mean they all get along with everybody. It's like, just not everybody thinks that, what certain places were built by who and what, and they have their own point of view just like we do. So they have a little bit more indication in some ways, but either way. Where the Earth is going into is basically, this is a message from Spirit if you're wondering what I'm talking about. Basically, this is what the new Earth is going to look like, letting go of the old ways of doing. And yes, it's going to be hard, a lot of hardships, a lot of ugly is needed. Now that doesn't mean for financial collapse, no. Because there's going to be things here that you're not going to see, and that's not going to be one of them. It's not going to help. There will be one eventually down the line, but we're nowhere near that. Even when the aliens do appear, probably the markets will go up and down, but we'll still survive. Don't worry. Yeah, we will survive it. No, I'm not seeing a financial collapse. Only when we don't need the economy anymore. We don't need this anymore. Then there'll be some others that will have difficulties, but they'll be helped. Economy will, but still, once again, understand we're not in the best situation right now. Can you get any? I mean, we can get worse, but it's pretty bad already. With the homelessness, it's just all kinds of nuts. But yeah, basically we are going into the new world, and the new world is going to, yes, there's going to be a lot of bruises, anger, loss of life, but they know this already. You knew that when you came here. Yes, this is how you get to the Earth, is basically a movement. It's not always going to be as perfect. It's a lot of it. There's different situations there where we are. Not all of it's by human choice. A lot of it is beings that are getting into our minds and not helping us make a choice. It's basically, it's like we don't really feel like we have free will. Yeah, it's like our free will is kind of gone. It's here, but it's not great. It's been manipulated. Our free will has been manipulated so much. It's like, wow, being a prisoner is great. It's like, I don't have the money to do this, I don't have the money to do that, but everything's wonderful. It's just, you should be able to be free to do whatever you want and do the job you want and enjoy it. Have joy in your life, and we don't have that. Well, a lot of us don't have that. Even these these billionaires, oh jeez, it's just, enjoy it while it lasts, because that's going to eventually go away. And they're gonna be, well, they had fun with it, obviously, but that's still pretty one way too. But either way, yeah, there's gonna be a society shift, but it's gonna be much needed. So, but it's not gonna be what you see coming. I mean, it's not gonna be this economic destruction. Far from it. It's just let's see, reptilians, beings that are causing difficulties here will most likely stay hidden for a long time, because we're going to take some time to release that down the road. Some might appear, some people might be able to see it more when they awaken, but they're going to try to stay hidden, because that's where the magic is done, you can say. At least the dark magic is used. The woman audio eventually will collapse on itself. Basically, those that want to change aren't really having been able to do so right now. there's a lot of good people in the Illuminati that don't feel like they can do anything. So when the shift comes, or a shift eventually, they feel like they can rise up finally. Because right now it doesn't feel like many of them can. So some of them are. It's just not made easy. So yeah, it's like they're in the web. They're doing terrible things. I know they're doing terrible things, but it's like, if I switch, I'm not sure if this, you know, they might just kill me or something like that, you know, something around those lines. Like, what good is that going to do? So, something along those lines. It's like they're waiting for the time when they can rise up. Because I believe it's not, there's at least the human Illuminati here. It's pretty bad, but there's all, yeah, I feel like there's a lot of good people. They just can't do anything. I feel it. They just can't. I mean, they're doing what they can, but I don't know. That's a different one. Anyway, but basically, planets around us, Uranus, Saturn, all these planets, yes, are working with our vibrations to release the old world. It's basically, you get an image of Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, whatever it might be. It's because that world you're working with, they're connecting to you. If it comes to mind out of nowhere, it just shows that you are working with those vibrations. As the old Earth, yeah, it's because those energies of those planets are going to increase even Mars is going to increase to help us see more clearly. It's like we're underwater right now. For us to water to come down enough where we can see, because right now we're kind of being drowned right now. The idea is for us to see more clearly. As many forces at once, the energy levels are going to shift. Third dimension is still going to be alive and well, but it's still going to, you want to feel it slowly collapse in due time. Those that are connected more to the light of themselves, that will increase. But you'll be helping those in the third. You'll be doing what you feel like you need to do. Not going to save the world, just do what you're going to do. Yeah, and then the Andromedans, they're all working with us. It's basically be a force unlike anything we've ever seen before. We're giving guiding light, we're giving messages right now to prepare. Just to be mentally aware. When it happens, you'll be, oh, there it is, instead of freaking out. It's like, that's really why they're doing this. It's like they're just preparing you for a mental getting ready for it. That's all this is. Now I'm going to give you full details that I'm not needed to, just to let you know. Changes on the way. It's going to be beyond this event, as people are mentioning. Beyond that it's just, yeah, it's not going to be the easiest transition, far from it. Some will go to heaven, but not in the way you think you're going to go. Yeah, it's just going to be basically those that can handle responsibility of higher knowledge will receive it. Those that have been abusing it, there have been some here, and that will, some are connected to alien knowledge and not using it for the best, from what I can see. And that I've connected to some that have done that, and I don't say anything obviously, but some of it has been abused, and that will, they'll deal with it when the time. They're already dealing with it now, but anyway, leave you with that. Okay. All right. Blessings. Try to bring somebody in tomorrow. We'll see how things go. Wasn't really expecting this to go in this direction, but it's very good. Yep, it's insane, but we just have to go with the flow. And yeah, go by what you are feeling. Now, you might not get a whole lot of what's to come. You might feel transition, and that's it. So that's saying something. So, welcome to the new world. Okay, all right, much love, blessings.